hear me? Can someone confirm to me if they can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you well.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
please, we can hear you.
Okay, praise God. I thank God for this opportunity. Just like they have made the introduction. My name is Rachel, Mrs. NIWAMANYA. I'm a businesswoman. Before I go ahead with any further introductions, I'm going to just say a small prayer, then we can proceed and we see what God has prepared through me. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, I want to thank you so much for this opportunity. We want to thank you so much for this evening that we have gathered here to fellowship with you. We want to thank you, Lord, for everyone who has logged in, for their families, for their precious opportunities of income that you have blessed with our families, Lord. We want to thank you, Lord, for this platform that we keep learning and growing and learning from each other. Father, I pray that today you come and speak through me. May you be the one to say everything that I'm going to say. May you use me as your vessel. And Lord, I pray that whatever I will say or share will be of use to someone out there. And I pray that you give me the wisdom and knowledge to be able to deliver, Lord, that you have prepared in me. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen. So good evening once again. My name is Rachel NIWAMANYA. Mrs. I'm married to Desmond NIWAMANYA. We have 3 children. God has blessed us with 3 children, 2 boys and 1 girl. I am a businesswoman, been in business about like 9 years now. And I'm an auditor by profession who resigned from auditing to go and audit my own books because I was tired of auditing other people's books. So I decided to go and do and audit my own financials. Sometimes it's good to use your profession that you're in to run your business because it really helps. Yeah, we really spend a lot of money in building career, and we go through jobs which also give us a lot of experience where we be working. So once you retire and you're done with that part, you can always use your experience that you've gained from your workplace to help you manage your business. So we are going to, that's the brief part about me. You know, when they were inviting me, they asked me, what title should we give you? I just told Dixon that you just say a businesswoman because I'm a CEO to a group of companies. I cannot say that I'm a CEO to one company or what. I'm a CEO to a group of companies, growing companies, not yet there, but growing companies. I manage 2 hardware stores, one in Mukono, another one in Misinde. I am in a progressive microfinance business too, and I am currently adventuring into hotel business and leisure industry, which I don't even know whether it will work, but I'm just going to try and figure it out. That's how very ambitious business people be. You get into it when you don't really know whether it's going to work, but it's a risk that you take. Business is all about risk. So we are going to look at what is a business. So many of us have ventured into businesses. We have tried to try out different kind of businesses, but for every business that you enter in, your one real objective is to make profits. You don't go in to make losses. Neither do you go in to play some kind of games or what. We all enter business to make profits. So that is one kind of goal. So We are going to, when God has blessed a family with a business, I want us to look, I'm going to talk about the advantages that are there when there's a family when there's a business in the family. I'm going to look at the disadvantages. Yeah, they are there. There are also disadvantages there, and they are quite not many, but they are there, and we cannot really ignore them because sometimes they bring a lot of confusion in the family. First of all, number one that we're going to look about when the business is in, yeah, we are going to look about, we're going to talk about different, I'm going to talk about different kind of businesses. There are scenarios where it's the husband and wife working together and they are in the same business. Or here you find the man is running the business and the lady is in employment, informal employment, or there is the lady is running a business and the gentleman is in informal employment, and that's what the situation I am in. My husband is an HR expert. He's in a formal employment, and me, I am in business. So I'm going to try and be broad and talk about different scenarios because mostly the issues are not so different. So here are the advantages of a business in the family setting. First of all, it increases on the family income. Sometimes if there are two different kind of incomes coming into the family, it's a much more advantage. Because there are scenarios, now you take a look at like when COVID happened, there were scenarios, some people lost jobs and some businesses were termed as essential. So some income was coming in for those businesses that were allowed to operate, much as you find some people had lost their jobs. So sometimes some businesses had closed and maybe those ones who are in employment were supplementing the family. So different incomes in the family, first of all, are a very big advantage. They increase the finances in the house. Maybe back to school has reached and your salary has not yet come through, and maybe one spouse is running a business and they happen to get money like during the course of the month, it can also really push the family somewhere else. Then there is also increased exposure as a family. You get to really have different knowledges from different kind of things. You know, sometimes if I am in a profession and it's auditing that I do, all the knowledge I'm going to really have collected is all about audit. But when there is a member of the family who is in the business, at least they collect much knowledge out there that can also be helpful to the family. Maybe you're running a different kind of business, you interact with different kind of people, because when you're in business, you really interact with very different kind of people, and you don't know how much knowledge you can collect out there that can be useful to the family. So that one is also a very, very good thing if there's a business in the family. Then we look at the flexibility of one of the partners. Take an example, if the woman or the man is in business and one of them is in formal employment, in case there is a scenario like maybe there is an emergency, the child has fallen sick, you need to take the child to the hospital, or you need to do something and I have a meeting. If one spouse or one partner is in business, they be flexible. They can always sit in at home, and the person who is sitting in should not really be offended because we're here to help. You know how employment right now is, with a lot of pressure, a lot of office politics. So sometimes if you really have a supportive partner, especially a partner who is in business, they can always sit in for you when it comes to children. You can get a call from school that a child is not feeling so well. So you can easily at least sit in for the other spouse who is very, very busy with formal employment. Number four, I'm trying to summarize because we don't really have much time and I really have quite a lot to share. We are going to look at number four, we shall say shared values and strong commitments. Sometimes you find that two people have been blessed differently. So you find as different spouses have different talents. You can always share your talents together to make the business at least really work. You bring in your different kind of expertises on the table, especially for partners who are really working together in the family. You bring it, you bring it, you bring on table, you have something to contribute to that business. That is also a very good advantage when it comes to family businesses. However, every good thing also has the other bad side of it. I cannot say the bad side, but there are challenges that also come with a family, with a business, managing a business when you're in the family. First of all, there are conflicts that arise leading to like coming from biased decision making, especially if you're working together and you happen to have like a disagreement at home, then you go back to the business and there are decisions that are supposed to be made. You find you're compromising yourself from making some decisions because you're like, this person may take it wrongly, or sometimes you even make decisions because you really want to hurt that person the more, and then you find yourself really making decisions that are not really good because of how you feel, how you're related with your spouse back at home. Then we have also sometimes when you're working together, like husband and wife, you're in the same business, sometimes there is limited access to capital because usually like financial institutions or potential investors, when they come and they find like it's a business, it's a family business, it's so confined in two families, the husband and the wife. Sometimes if you don't really have good, clear paperwork or securities, they have fears that they have their own fears to invest in you, to grant you with some financial assistance because they feel like dynamics of there are so many dynamics of family businesses. So some potential financial investors might be hesitant, but you can always prove them beyond reasonable capacity and they come on board. Then sometimes it's difficult when you're having running a family business, especially if you're together. It's difficult to separate business with personal life. Sometimes you find your both of you are working together, and then you have some personal challenges. It's and you're appearing together in the business. Sometimes you don't even know how you're going to solve those kind of challenges. Sometimes they even affect the staff that you're working with. So it's a bit challenging when the spouses are working together. But with God, there is nothing that is impossible. Surely with God, everything is possible. You have to keep praying together. They always say that a family that prays together keeps together. So you can always pray together, try to always have open communication, always table everything at hand, and also know where some levels of emotion can stop. If we have quarreled at home and we have moved and gone to work, let it be work. Because remember, this is where we are earning from. Our family sustainability is based on this business. So sometimes we may have to put our emotions aside, our personal lives aside, especially if they are going to affect our businesses, and move on and work. You're like, you know what? Right now we're at work. It's time to bring something on that table. It's time to earn. We can always talk about our differences, or we can always continue our disagreement from home. But right now, let us work. As ladies, you know, we are good at mood swings, silent treatment. So now you wonder how you're going to manage to work together when the husband comes to approach you on something in the business, and here you are with your silent treatment. Yeah, you're not talking. So how are you going to manage? So we should always differentiate between business time and family time. It's a bit challenging, but we should always have principles, because in every business, to be able to succeed, you should have discipline. Discipline, you should be able to compromise. So you can always say, no, let me put this aside for now and let me continue with let us focus on the business. So many family businesses have succeeded as long as you know how to address the cons, that the disadvantages that I have talked about, the challenges. I cannot say the disadvantages, but the challenges. There are so many businesses that have really excelled, because also when you're working together, you're able to limit a lot of frauds. You're able to advise each other. Someone is always there to step in. I have had several challenges because, like, I personally, I run like 3 kind of businesses on a daily, which I have to make sure I supervise. It's not very, very easy, but I try. And I cannot tell my spouse, you come and we join business. No, we also need to appreciate our spouses. Just because you're in business and you feel like it's their way deal, it's their thing to go, it's blooming, your other spouse also has their own visions. They also have their own visions. They also have their own dreams. So you should always support your other spouse in their dreams that they are in. Yes, you can be aggressive. You see there is light in business, there is money. You cannot come and start convincing your spouse, there's nothing you're doing there in employment. You come and we do business, unless they are willing. But you cannot force them to share your vision. You cannot force them to be in line with what you really, really think is the way to go. No, you cannot do that. You just keep sharing. Maybe you can always tell them about your business, share ideas about your business. Like, I update my husband about my businesses every day. Even much as he comes back home when he's very, very tired, sometimes he also has his personal stress, but I try to update him on what I do on a daily. You know, God has blessed me with him. He's an HR expertise. Having those businesses, at least I have some, not a very quite number of employees, but I really have some employees with me. So he really helps me a lot with the HR. Sometimes you want to use your emotions to terminate someone. You come and you share with him your challenge. You know, this is happening, help me out. So sometimes when you're managing a business in the family and your spouse has another kind of expertise, another kind of experience, you can always borrow that kind of experience to run your business. There is no problem with trying to seek help in running your business, especially from your spouse. They may not directly be involved in your day-to-day activities, but they can surely help you when you really, really need them. For example, if your partner is an auditor, there is nothing wrong with approaching them to come and audit your business. Yeah, sometimes we don't want to show our finances because they're like, you mean you make this much? Oh, where did this money go? How come I didn't know that you are spending on this? But as Christians, we can always try to be transparent and try to be, it is hard, but we can always try to be transparent with our spouses. So if your spouse is an auditor, you can always ask them to come and help you audit the books instead of going and paying an auditing firm when you have an auditor in the house, or instead of going to hire an HR team to come and give team building to your staff. When you have an expertise who is an HR, you can always talk to your spouse about whatever they do, whatever service they extend to the other organizations, they can always extend it also into the businesses. So when we look at managing a business on a family perspective, I have highlighted more in my speech, but I will add on this kind of notes I have here. Regardless of who, when the business is in the family, whether it is the man running the business and the lady is in doing other things, or whether it's the woman running the business and the gentleman, the husband is doing other things, whether it's the children are involved with one of the partners, it's all still within the family. If we should not really do things that are very selfish, that will really compromise the status in which the family is in. So when especially if it's one spouse who is running the business, we should always plan at least a succession plan. If tomorrow I am not here, how is my business standing? Who knows about what I do? Who knows the people that I deal with? Who owes me money? Whom do I owe money? To whom will someone reach out to? Where do I keep my documents for my business? So that's why we really need to be transparent, especially if you're in the family and one spouse is not fully active in your business, does not mean that they are not entitled to know what is taking place in your business. You should have a succession plan. You don't have to name a successor and you say, yes, look here, you are my successor. No, you can start gradually, especially with businesses that are really growing. Take a look, I'll say, for one, I told you my husband is in formal employment in the HR sector. I am fully in business 24/7, but I tell him about everything the key things that are really in the business. He knows which banks I use. He will know my suppliers that I deal with. He will know where my documents are, and he's a partner in the business. Sometimes we start businesses and we don't put immediate family members like directors or shareholders or what. And when the business grows and grows, sometimes you find those partners or if you're normal, those partners that you're partnering with may not really be of very, very much help to your family. So in whatever we do, let us try to have a succession plan. Yes, you might be in a business and your partner is not your spouse, but at least whatever percentage that you have in that business, let your spouse, let your partner or your child whom you feel can be able to succeed it, let them know what takes place. And they cannot know unless you keep telling them about it, update them about it. I have this culture where every holiday I make sure I take my kids to my businesses such that they can know what I sell, what I do. They don't go there to sit. They do work. Sometimes some of them do manual work where it's a hardware. There are things for carrying. They will carry. the ones who don't have the energy to carry, at least they will clean. They will clean the items. They will clean the tins of paint. They will do something. But I want them to know what do we sell? How are the operations of the business every day? My husband sometimes checks up on me at the shop, at the shops. He comes over. He sees. He knows what I do. If tomorrow I woke up, I wasn't able to wake up suddenly, he will not be surprised that he doesn't know the products that I sell. No, he will know. He knows the products that I sell. He knows how I transact my business because I tell him, I update him so oftenly about the business that I run. So it is very important to have a succession plan, especially if you have a business and it's in the family. If the two of you are working together, it is very, very important to be very, very transparent, such that your spouse, if tomorrow your spouse is not, sometimes you work together, but one partner is on the lead, is the one who interacts with the partners, maybe the suppliers, the people who your customers who support who support you in the business. It's If you're working together, it's very important that your spouse should be able to interact with them, just such that in case tomorrow you're not around, the business can really continue. It is able to move forward because yes, you're the one who interacts with the client, you're the one who makes the deals, you have that personal relationship. And you know, with these businesses of ours here, the customers usually get that attachment with a person whom they are always very, very close to. We have seen people pass on and the businesses die with them. Their children or the spouses come and try to continue them, but the fact they have not really had that kind of relationship with a client, it is always very, very hard for them to continue. And maybe most of those clients are the ones that are really sustaining the business to move forward. So it's very, very important. Much as you're working together, do not let your spouse behind. Try to move together with your spouse. Try to elevate them. Yes, you might be good at negotiating the deals. You might be good at looking for the business, but don't leave them so far away. Try to keep them close. Let them have that personal relationship also with the customers. Then there is also like succession plans are not only here. We also look at it in the Bible, where in 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 15 to 16, where Elijah was very anointed and mentored. He also anointed and mentored Elisha to succeed him as a prophet. So it is also in the Bible that it is very, very good to always leave someone who can always come in your footsteps, who can always follow from where you can stop. So sometimes this life is very unpredictable. Tomorrow, maybe you wake up and you're not feeling okay. Does that mean that you're going to close the business? Remember, the family is depending on this business. But if you have supportive, if you're working with your spouse or you're working with your child, or there is someone in the pipeline, at least they are able to go and open or to go and transact a business, and it's able to bring in something inside the family. Then also open communication. Communication is very, very key. For whether both of you are in business or one spouse is in business, it is very, very important that you should always communicate. At least talk about anything. Okay? Update your spouse about everything, because if you don't communicate, they will misunderstand you. I mentioned earlier that I'm adventuring into a business, into another. Just hold on. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Sorry. Sorry about that. Sorry. My apologies. Sorry about that. Uh, we're talking about open communication. It's very important to communicate. Okay, sorry if I'm not loud. I hope now you can hear me very well. Okay, yes. Okay. Uh, Second, we are going to look about open communication. It is very, very important to try and communicate, especially if you're both in the business, you're managing the business together. It is very important to always keep your other spouse in the know. Sometimes you find, like I had mentioned earlier, one of the partners is in the lead. They are the ones who are in charge of getting the big deals into their business. They're the ones who are in charge of running different kind of errands in the business. But you should always communicate to your spouse. I was going to tell you an example of one of the business I'm adventuring in, of hotel and leisure uh, and children. I have a passion for children, so I'm trying to set up a children's play park. So when I was trying to search so much about that business, I told my husband about the idea, and he's like, okay, how is it even going to work? Is it really going to work? You know, most business people, there is something they don't want to hear about is it going to work? That one, they never want to hear something like that. The moment the moment their mind is said that I'm doing this business, that is it, that is it. Telling them that it's not going to work, they will term you as as an enemy of progress. So he asked me, are you really sure it's going to work? I just told him I am not really sure, but it's going to work. But it's a passion. Sometimes it's good to do business that you like, that you're really passionate about. Because even when the times really get very, very hard, you're able to sail through because it's something that you love. Eh? When I entered the hardware business, I liked finishing. So many people always ask me, why don't you sell cement? Why don't you sell iron bars? I just don't like them. It's not my passion. I want clean. I always tell them, yeah, I like clean businesses. I want to deal in finishing because it will always leave my shop clean. I don't want this other section of this and that. No, I always want my business clean. So most people, when they visit my shops, they're like, but is this a hardware? Yes, it's a hardware, but we deal in finishing products, which keep my shop clean. So it's something I love and I am passionate, even when things are not moving well, even when they tell me that this is going to bring money. There is this thing that they always told me that cement a data customer. I'm like, okay, it is true, a letter customer, but me, I'm not going to sell it. Eh? abagenda okujja nga they have not come. The ones who are going to come without being, that Smith has not brought them, they will come. And truthfully, they come. So I have that share of the market of customers who come to look, because now my customers know that I don't sell cement and iron bars. So when it comes to the products that I sell, they'll always come over to look for me. So it's very, very good to do what you want. I'm bringing all this because I'm trying to bring up the point of open communication. So when I'm trying to adventure into this business, there's someone, a friend of mine, I was sharing with them my idea, and then they told me, but Rachel, do you have any kind of expertise in it, any kind of information about hotel management? I told them I don't have. I am going to figure it out from there. And we have been blessed with fellowship. In fellowship, I have met so many people with different kind of experiences, with this kind of knowledge, with different kind of expertise. So I'm very sure that I am along the way, I am going to get someone who is going to walk me through that journey. I have friends who are in that business. So why should I be afraid of going into it? So I told him about it. You know me, I really, really talk. I tell him everything. Even sometimes when he doesn't even want to hear, I will talk, because I want him to understand what I am doing. I want him to understand the nature of businesses that I am doing. And he's very, very supportive in advice. Sometimes when I am stuck financially, I will run to him, borrow some money from him. Then you'd late to pay, but then eventually you pay. So he's very, very supportive, but he would not be in position to lend me money if he does not know what I am doing. It will be very, very hard for him to come to run there, and then you're like, oh, please, baby, bail me out here. Bail me out here. It will be very hard for me to run, and it will be very hard for me to run to him and I ask him to help me, because he will not know where I am taking the money. But if I am continuously engaging him and telling him about the business that I'm going to do tomorrow, like take an example, like 2 weeks, I think a week ago, I was in China and I had gone purposely for this main kind of business. I kept on mentioning it to him, telling him what I want to do. Then I got a weekend, like a Saturday. We moved together around town. I showed him we're looking for things that I really need to like put in that business, and they weren't actually in town. The ones who had them were very, very expensive. So I took him. I worked with him there because I wanted him to understand. Because in my mind, I had done research that I wasn't going to get the things that I need. So I was like, how am I going to come? And I tell him, look here, babe, I need to go to China. I need to go and buy A, B, C, and D. He will be like, you're a scam. You're not really, you're not telling me the truth. So I got a weekend, and then I worked with him. We drove to town. I took him around the shops. We did some window shopping. Then when I came back home, I told him, you know what? The things that I really need, you have seen they are very expensive. Some of them are not even there. So I plan to save up some money, and then your comments are really distracting me, but it's okay. I said I need to save up some money, and then I go and buy these things. So when the time came for me to travel, he actually knew why I am going to travel. He knew why I'm going to leave him here with the children for about like 2 weeks. And when the time came, I went, and it was all peace. He stayed home with the children. He took good care of them. He took good care of them, and we're in touch. But he knew why I was going. He knew why I needed to go. So this is where open communication comes in. It helps resolve so many misunderstandings in the business, especially if one partner is not fully involved in the business. At least if you keep updating them on every step that you take, they will be able to understand you, and they'll always be able to work with you. So it is very, very important to always have open communication with your spouse. Then another thing in the when there is a family, when there is a business in the family, sometimes if the husband and the wife are working together, it's very, very important to adopt, uh, to be very adopt different kind of uh, things that can help you manage the business. You cannot be, it's me, it's the gentleman, it's the husband, maybe the managing director, and it's the wife who is in the account, and then you're the HR, you're the everybody. You will miss out on something. But and you even find when you're so much burdened, when I was starting business, people would I would go for some talk shows, some conferences, and people would always talk about technology. So I'm like, what is technology? And I don't understand. I don't click what technology is. Adopt technology. It will make your life easy. Adopt this. It will make your life easy. I was so green. They talk about technology. It's very, very wide. But when you come to break it down to an individual kind of basis, you find that it is actually very, very simple. I kept on adopting a technology. Like if you're working together, you have systems in place. You don't have to do everything manual. People have really initiated so many systems that can manage every kind of business, and those systems make your life very easier. They make running a business very, 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 very easy. Like accounting systems are there. You are able to manage your stock. You're able to easily count your stock. You're able to now we have the e-freeze, which is now like a first one. You have to do it, and we welcome it, because now I embraced it, because I had already appreciated technology. I was already practicing technology. So when government brings such kind of system and they find you're already in the scale, it is very easy to adopt. Yes, much as it has its challenges, but it does not become very, very new to you. Then also, like there are also like CCTV cameras. I, for one, I told you I run like about 3 businesses which are in different places, but I'm not going to, sometimes I am not early bird of on this business by 6:30, by 1, but I'll be on my bed and I'll log into my cameras, and I am able to see what is taking place in all my 3 kind of stations. I'll be able to see what time they have opened, what is taking place, this one who is serving this, is there a customer who has delayed to be served. I will be able, it saves me so much energy. It does not drain me so much that I have to wake up at 7, make sure I am on each and every place, make sure they have opened on time. Then there are also biometric logins. You're able to track what time have the employees come to work. Have they all logged in? What time were they able to work? Have they come on time? We need to embrace technology. Let us, you and your spouse, organize yourselves and try to, don't be kamalabyo na. We are two of us. We can handle it. Also when you do not embrace this kind of things, the fact that you cannot divide yourself up in so many ways, you find your level of expansion is also very small. If you're operating a wholesale shop, because someone is at the till and you're in the store, when will you be able to open a second store? Or when will you advance into another business as a family and grow, if you do not want to really adopt these technologies, which can make one business easier and give you some time to think about like the next other business that you can always invest in. So let us really try to embrace technology. It's very wide. There are so many things out there that you can really use to help you manage your business, and also to ease a lot of work, because if you don't embrace it, you always blame. If something goes wrong, you blame your other partner who is in that docket, like they are not really doing their work. But they are not angels. They are not really angels. You will be so busy, the two of you, in the same place, trying to manage everything. You actually miss out on family time. You miss out on connecting because you're very, very busy. Sometimes if you have embraced all these kind of technologies and what, it can always give you space to be together as a family, to spend some quality time, to take some holidays and vacations, because you know, even if you're not there, something they will continue. That brings us to the point of I need to really summarize. Time is going. But I'm summarizing. It brings us to the point of bringing in outside talent. If the two of you are really working together, and there is somewhere where you can stop. There is somewhere you can stop. You're not really experienced in everything, so you can always bring in outside talent. Employ people who have something else to add to your business. They can always they always come with new knowledge to add into their business. Like I, for one, much as I am very, very good at so and so, but I'm not a very, very patient person when it comes to counter sales. So I try to have the sales girls on my counters, and I am in the side to support, because they're the ones who can really, really be very, very, very patient. And when they fail, I come in. They will ask me, Madam, you get a nae, Madam, you know, I train them. I bring them on board. I train them. They sit on the counter, they sell, and I am also there to support them. But I cannot be at my different counters, because I told you I have like 3 different kind of sessions. So I cannot be everywhere. You adopting outside talent. Everyone comes with something. There is always something very good everyone has. Let it be your gardener, let it be your accountant, let it be your cleaner. Everyone has something they contribute. They may not contribute knowledge, but they will go and tell someone, look, I work here. This is what they do. Maybe they'll bring for you a client. So bringing in different kind of people onto your business, if you are able to, if you have reached a certain level, is very, very important. Then number 5, and that is my last point, and I conclude, is compromise with each other. If you're working together, compromise with each other. It's a bit kind of difficult if you don't really compromise with each other. You know, family business, most family businesses have really, really succeeded through, but you need to be lenient with each other. Sometimes we see like maybe there is no problem with someone trying to being better than you. You all cannot be at the same pace. So there is no need for you to compete in the family because you're in that business. I want to show I'm the one who knows, I'm the one who brings the deals, I'm the one who does this. Yeah, this person may not be very aggressive, but there is something they can bring back, they can bring on the table. So let us learn to compromise with each other. Let us learn to be tolerant with each other. Let us try to be patient with each other. As I conclude, it's very, very important to create an enterprise of deep value capable to grow over several years. In that, when you're not here, my business can grow. I am away. It can still it can grow. It's very, very important that in whatever businesses we do in the family, it should not be about me. Can this business grow when I am not there? Try to put measures in place. Some of us still have young children, but you try to educate them. You try to show them what's in the business line. Because right now in our economy, it's very, very a bit very, very tough out there. So you may find the child will have to finish, and maybe they can also get into self-employment. So in conclusion, we look at what the Bible tells us about working hard, like in Colossians chapter 3, verse 23, Colossians chapter 3, verse 23 to 24. It says, whatever you do, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as though you were working for the Lord and not for human beings. Hard work pays. There is nothing that is going to really come without putting in a lot of hard work, and hard work really pays. We look at Luke chapter 19 verse 13, the parable of the golden coin. You can always go and read about it. Before it says, before he left, he called his 10 servants and gave each of them a golden coin and told them, see what you can earn with this while I am gone. He did not tell them, go and spend the money. He told them, see what you can earn with this. Even with the little you can invest. I'm sorry to talk about it, but there are times when I look at young girls, she's holding an iPhone 15. That's capital of a business. And you're struggling to survive in a daily. You cannot even load data or what. An iPhone 15 is about like 4.5 million. You are able to invest that, and it will bring for you income. I'm not saying that you don't hold an iPhone 15 if it's okay, but you find someone like these young girls have just finished university, they are trying to look for a job, and they have expensive gadgets. That's capital of a business that you can really invest and earn more, and you can always make so much money with what God has, with a little that we have. We don't have to wait. Where I started business with very little money that I had saved from different kind of areas, but my husband told me, no, you wait, let me save for you up to 70 million, then you can already start business. Then I'm like, no, let me start with a little that I have, then you can always add me the 70 million when I'm already there. And God has really blessed us. We really, really thank God. I thank God for the gift of businesses. I thank God for the knowledge. I thank God for church. Church has really, really made me grow, friends that I've made through the network. But without networking, we cannot really do much in the business. Thank you so much for the opportunity that you gave me to come and be your guest speaker today. God bless you.
Indeed, God has already blessed us with you this evening, and we continue praying for more and more of such blessings through you and through all the other means. Thank you very much, dear speaker, for such a wonderful sharing. Friends, let's celebrate Mrs.RACHEAL in the chat room for all the wonderful delivery that she has made to us. I don't know where to start from, where to end from, because she has spoken really to our hearts, and she has spoken so much of how best we can manage family businesses. She has also spoken of the advantages and disadvantages of the family businesses being there. I believe that we are noting them down, and I believe that we have really learned defining goals, establishing boundaries, communication, sharing visions, having the ability to resolve conflicts, and as well being able to be flexible, embracing one another's gifts and talent, having a succession plan. Wow, thank you very, very much, Mrs.RACHEAL NIWAMANYA. As you were speaking, we had quite a few questions which came through, and those who are still having, please, you can drop them real quickly in the chat room so I can give them to our speaker. But one of them came that you started your speech by saying you are a CEO of, let's say, many companies, managing so very many places. You are planning of starting hotels. You're planning of starting some children's setup somewhere. You are a married woman. You are a mother. And here you are speaking with us like, so this person asked, how do you manage all that as a family lady? That's question one. Then one which was dropped in the chat room is that, how do we deal with accountability sessions, especially if the spouse who is running the business is mean? How do we deal with accountability sessions, especially if the spouse who is running the business is mean? Let me just read the last one so you can be able to go through that. This is from someone in the chat room asking for for someone that you talked of transparency as far as family business is concerned. And can those who are dating update their fiancés about the progress in their businesses? They're not yet married, but of course they're dating, having prospects of, let's say, staying together, getting married and having a family together. So can they update their fiancés about the progress of their of their progress in their businesses? Yeah, the fourth one was more of like the second one, which says that how do you maintain healthy boundaries between family and work? Yeah, I think you can first go through that as we see if any will still come again. Thank you very much. Over to you yet again, Mrs. Rachel.
Okay. Thank you so much for the questions. I think they are the ones that were distracting me as I was talking. I was seeing in the comments. Number one, how do you manage family with everything? Now, I'm going to even interest you more. 3 years ago, me and my husband, we made a decision not to let go of housemaids in the house. We said we are going to manage ourselves. How do we do it? You remember when I told you about technology? Technology makes work so much easier. If you can afford it, use it. I have tried to use a lot of technologies in my businesses. I told you I have CCTV cameras, I have accounting systems, I have adopted on new talent in my businesses. So me, I do supervising role. So it makes my work much easier. The times if my husband is on leave, I will wake up in the morning, I'll drop the children to school, I'll come back to my businesses, and I will be able to monitor all the businesses, and I'll be able to rush back at 3 to pick the kids, come back home and fix us something for us to eat. Why? Because there is a lot of technology at home and even back at work. I will sit in one, I just need about like 2 to 3 hours, and I am able to assess what is going on. I just need to do end of month riches. I'll go in my book, in my systems. I'll be able to do stock taking because the systems are there. So technology is what has helped me and made my work so much easier. How do you deal with a mean spouse? Now, yeah, that is a very, very tricky one. I don't even know how to say it, but here it's kind of not so broad. Mean spouse, are the two of you in the same business? Are you working together? Are you not working together? But at the end of the day, if you as a family, you have you know what each one is supposed to do. Take an example. I like really using practical examples. What works for me may not work for you. If you know that at the beginning when we started our family, you were supposed to get up for the bill, this bill, maybe school fees, this is your contribution on school fees, maybe this is what you're supposed to do here and there. I'm very sure, much as they are mean, but they know their roles, some of the things will get done. Then when it comes to family development, you just have to try and talk. But it's very hard for someone to account for every single coin that they earn. It is very, very hard. But it's much easier if everybody knows that they are supposed to do this, especially as business people. Like I told you right now, I'm under a project that really needs a lot of money. I may not be able to declare everything because I am really trying to build up here. I need the cement, I need to buy this, I need to buy this. So it becomes a bit tricky to account for every single coin. But if you have agreed as a family that everyone takes up these kind of roles, as long as your spouse is really taking care of their roles, the rest you can always keep praying about it, try to talk to the person. Maybe they can always find a way of becoming flexible. Updating your fiancé about your business. Now, the relation between you and your fiancé is entirely known between the two of you. If you are intending to take that relationship to another level, I think they are entitled to know. it is very important to inform them on what you do, such that when they come in, they know that you're in. You know, sometimes businesses are very challenging. They really need an understanding spouse. Sometimes I really thank my husband so many times. I may appreciate him, but he may not even know how deep it is, because it really takes courage for your spouse to understand the kind, especially that there are those days which are really so bad. You're restless, you can hardly sleep, maybe you have to do some decisions, maybe you're running late, maybe there are meetings that he may not understand. You have to meet some partners, some business people, maybe like I am a lady, maybe I have to meet some male. He needs to understand. So it is very important to, if you really feel it may compromise your relationship, it is okay to inform your fiancé. If you really know that relationship, you're taking it to another level, it's very, very okay to inform your fiancé. I think that is it.
Okay, wow. Thank you once again. Just one more, which has just come in through my inbox. Someone is asking, could you please share your experience if at any point you had a misunderstanding with your husband, yet at the same time also you needed to update him about your business? How did you balance that? Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that. You remember one of my topics here that I said the disadvantages of business is emotional when it comes to did I say something I talked about balancing emotions in the business. At that moment, you cannot be mad at your spouse forever. And we are human beings, true. But if today I am mad at him, I may not be in position to update him about the business. But if it's really key and I cannot hold it, then trust me, much as I'm really angry with him, I will either send him a text or an email, or I will find a way of telling him. If it can wait, there will always be those happy days when we are on talking terms. Then I can always tell him, hey, by the way, A, B, C, and D transpired, or this is what I'm planning to do, or this is where I am at. Trust me, it's not that you always be mad at your spouse forever. No. Then if it can wait, then I will always wait until the perfect time comes, then I address it. If it cannot wait, and it's very, very important that I tell him, I always send him a WhatsApp, or I can always send him an email and put the points that I need to tell him forward.
Amen. Wow. Someone was commenting that it's the email for me. Oh, wow. Wow. What an evening that we have had here. While you're also sharing, Sabiliko also commented in the chat room that you need to separate business operations from family and manage professionally. Wow. What an evening. What a moment that we have had here for the glory of the name of the Lord. Once again, thank you very, very much, Mrs. Namanya, for allowing God to use you. May God continue to richly bless you and cause you to excel even in your family businesses. At this moment, I'll then now invite the admin, Miss Eva, if she's here on call, so she can give us the announcement and notices. Then later on, we'll invite Reverend Ben